starts. When we start the chapter, generally everywhere we chant the verse and we expect every one of you to chant with us. Don't complain that I don't know Sanskrit. Swamiji, lucky Indians, they know. You are mistaken. You ask the Indians, they also don't know. So in the ignorance, we are all one. So then don't worry about it. Learn to chant so that that sound and the meaning become associated in your mind. Right. Brahmacharini.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha
Shri Bhagavanuvacha
Maya Saktamanah Partha
Maya Saktamanah Partha
Yogam Yunjanmadashrayah
Yogam Yunjanmadashrayah
Asamshayam Samagram Mam
Asamshayam Samagram Mam
Yatha Jnasyasi Tachrunu
Yatha Jnasyasi Tachrunu.
A teacher should not forget to whom he is talking. That is the most effective teacher. It's not that the teacher learns something at home or in the library or in the library or laboratory and gets that all this idea in his head and he remembers only the notes that he has written, and then he comes to the platform or the podium and closes his eyes and goes on talking, pouring out what he has gathered, and he is afraid that if he shakes his head even or opens his eyes, it will all leak out. And that sort of a teacher is an ineffectual teacher. A spiritual teacher must talk and understand the quality of the student who is listening. Don't forget it. And according to his nature and temperament and attitude and level of understanding, the teacher must come down to his level and slowly crowbar, lift him up. Knowing fully well that Arjuna is an arrogantly intellectual, totally skeptical person, a man of action, who believes in the muscles, in the brawn than in the brain, a army man, extrovert, confused and confounded at this moment because of the problem that is hanging on his mind. To such an individual, if you say that, I will explain to you meditation. In India, they will take the chappals. Here they will unwind the belt to belt the teacher. Because I don't want anything. Now he just captivates the child, tickles, he angles for the intellectual man in him. And he says, Maya asakta, intend upon me. Partha, O Arjuna, Arjuna's name. Hey Partha, yogam yunjanmadashraya, those who are taking the shelter in me and turning the mind's attention to me, ashraya, depending upon me. Yogam, ye who is practicing yoga, yuja, to yoke. He who is trying to yoke the attention of the mind and intellect with that reality, to such people, asamshayam samagram, asamshayam, beyond a trace of doubt, samagram, the entire glory of me, the reality. How you can understand, yathajñāsyasi, how an individual can understand tat shrunu, that you now listen. This is exactly the doubt in my mind. When the last chapter was talking, what was he saying? Turn your mind and intellect and you shall come to know me, the infinite, the eternal, the immutable, the perfect. I said, it's all talking through a hat. Go and talk to the gopis, the milkmaids of Vrindavan. Don't talk to us, we are modern, educated, children of the technological age. We know how to think independently. What nonsense are you talking? the finite mind with its limited capacities can reach, you want me to believe, what? The infinite. Finite to reach the infinite. The imperfect to reach the perfect. The eternal, the ephemeral to reach the eternal. What are you talking? This finite, limited, stupid mind of mine, when it turned to him, who? Perfect, eternal, immutable, boundless, unborn, that transcendental reality with his little mind. Why don't you tell me that with a kite I can reach the moon? Why didn't you say that? A limited one. No doubt the mind has got power, but compared to the physical abilities, mind and intellect has got tremendous capacity. The scientific explorations, they are all gracious. It's all relative. After all, the mind of man is limited. We know it. How can the limited ego or limited individuality awake to that unlimited? The imperfect reach the perfect. I, the product of mortality, constantly dying and changing. How can I reach the changeless and the deathless? Go and bluff somebody else. This kind of a doubt will be always there in the mind of the intelligent. How can I, the limited, the mortal, the finite, reach the infinite, the immortal, the eternal? How? It is so impossible. Knowing fully well that this is the doubt, Krishna anticipates the doubt before the student asks the question and says, Sonny, I'm going to give you a discourse upon how your finite, we, little mind, when it turns its attention towards me, the infinite, the eternal, the immutable, the boundless, how you can reach me, and samagram, you can realize me totally. I am going to explain. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa gives the example. A salt doll tied in a string went down the ocean to understand the ocean. How far is the ocean, Went down and down, measuring the depth of the ocean. Courageous guy. And at the end of it, when they understood that this so many leagues is the bottom, the string was looked up. When the string was looked up, at the other end, there was no salt at all. The doll has become the ocean. The limited ego in contemplation tries to go and measure him and know him. This ego is not going to know him because he is limited and they are unlimited. But the limited entity ends, merges with, becomes one with that higher state of consciousness. But the average man doesn't understand it. He thinks that, why you contemplate? Everything in the world is known through the intellect, where my intellect is kept intact and is an object of knowing. Similarly, this limited mind, when it turned into the higher, how can I do it? There's a doubt in the mind. The teacher says, I shall explain to you how through contemplation, your mind, though limited in its capacities and abilities, imperfect, finite, can come to reach or realize me, the infinite, the eternal, the changeless, the immutable. That I shall explain to you. Listen to me. Tat shrunu. Listen to me. Not hear me. Hearing is the function of the ears. Many things in the world we hear from morning till evening. I think I heard it about it, but I never gave my attention to it. Oh, now you are saying it. Oh, I see. Oh, there's such a significance. I heard it before, but I never took notice of it. Hearing is the function of the ears. That is why the Lord has kept both the ears and both the sides so that it may ventilate out. Unnecessary things, it goes out. It goes through the ears, you can't stop it. But the things that you want, while passing through the ears, you grasp it. This grasping is possible only when through the ears the ideas come in. If you don't want it, let it go pass through your cranium. But when you want it, then the mind and intellect in all attention grasp everything immediately. Suppose you are hearing something bad story about me. And one of my disciples says that is my personal experience. That Swami, you don't know. What is that? The story may be a long story, covering about 13 years. And the man talked to you about 42 minutes. I tell you, every bit of that story you know by heart. At the end of it, you can go and tell the next man. Do you know what I heard about that, about the Swami? Every detail you can give, isn't it? You are supposed to be a dull fellow. Textbook I can't read, understand, I have not passed even 10th standard, I could not complete 10th grade. Why? Swamiji, what to do? Dull I am. Let it be a story. All the details he hears. Not only he hears, but second time when he says, he adds his own originality. So it is a question of our attention. To listen is to hear with total attention. This I am going to explain to you. Listen to me. Not that Arjuna was distracted there and he was looking here and there. Therefore he said, hey, look, listen, come on, hear me. That is not it. The student was with all attention. But it is a warning given to the student that it is a very important thing immediately. As you are hearing, grasp it, digest it, assimilate it and make it your own. This is called the listening. Go me down.
Jnanam teham savijnanam.
Jnanam teham savijnanam.
Idam vakshyamya sheshatah.
Idam vakshyamya sheshatah.
Yajñātvā neha bhūyonyat.
Yajñātvā neha bhūyonyat.
Jñātavyamavashishyate.
Jñātavyamavashishyate.
Continuing, the Lord says, Jnanam te aham, to you I shall now explain. Because when the student is heard that I am going to explain to you how the limited mind can in contemplation and meditation come to totally realize that infinitude I shall explain. Arjuna expressed in the mind a disgust for it. Because a man of action is rather suspicious of all idealisms, utopian theories. Those of you who have taken a scheme to your, or a theory or an idea, a fresh and new idea, an original idea to your boss, sir, why not we do it this way? If the boss is a vibrant, dynamic man, he says, look, don't talk to me cock and bull stories or poetry. Make it into a scheme and present it. How much we must put it, what are the ways in which we can get it, and how much will we get it. All that is there, then I will consider. Theory, he is afraid. He wants only practical. So the moment Arjuna, Krishna said that I shall explain to you all these things, Arjuna is not interested. I am tired of already tired. Now another ideal you are talking, unnecessary. What is the use of it? Now the teacher says, look, don't think that way. To keep the enthusiasm of the student boiling, he explains, Jnanam teham, I shall explain not only jnanam, not only the theory of what I am talking, or this philosophy, savijnanam, along with vijnana, along with the theoretical, along with the technology of how to achieve it in you. Not only mere book knowledge, I shall explain, but I shall explain how you can bring it into the ambit of your own personal experience. The technology. Not merely the pure science of reality, jnanam, but the technology of how to bring about it in your own experience is called yoga, vijnana, direct knowledge. Personal, direct experience which confirms what the teacher has said. At this moment, in our modern science, that we can employ or harness the energies, infinite amount of energies in the solar system, solar energy, is a theory. The theories are beautiful. But we cannot add joy to the society because we have not found the technology by which it can be done. 10th century historically, we knew the electrical energy. By 11th and 12th century, we knew all about its theory. But it had to wait till the 18th century end for the first bulb to burn. The technology, how this energy can be created, how it can be transported, how it can be brought to your home, and safely you can make use of it for your own domestic purposes, it took time. The technology took time. The theory is first. Jnanam was first, but the vijnana, it took time. Similarly, here the Krishna says, these great signs of reality I am expounding to you, not merely the theories of it, the jnanam, the pure knowledge, but also the applied knowledge, the technology of it, I shall, along with that, expound. Vakshyami, I shall now explain, expound, asheshata. Not that I will explain about 80%, and 20% I will keep it as a secret. And for getting that, you will have to come after me. Then I make you serve me, massage my leg, cook my food, wash my clothes, and give me more and more good things. What will you give me? And secret gift there are, especially when these foreign countries cooperate with the developing nations and they supply the machinery, they supply everything and everything looks that we know it, but the machine will not run. Why? That is our secret. That is our secret. But then we have invested so much, and then what can we do now? You do one thing. We will send you a technologist. 22 technologists we will send you. Look after them, feed them, and tax-free. Give them 96,000 of your money. What to do? Okay. We do it. These technologists are, who are they? Nobody is there, a foreman in their factory will send you. The fellow from morning till evening drunk, he goes about. That way Russians are better, because they can't move about in the society. See? It is the method. In the same way here, the teacher says, Sonny, I don't want you to come after me. Asheshataha. Without keeping anything balanced with myself, I shall exhaustively explain to you not only the theory, but the practical ways by which those theories can be brought into your own personal subjective experience in yourself. All right, but why should I struggle? After all, he is an intellectual. Intellect is always utilitarian. Human intellect is always utilitarian. If I ask you to do something, you'll say, why should you? Immediately your reaction is, what will I get out of it? It is not anything wrong. It is a human nature. When the child is young, you can tell him, you are wonderful, baby, how smart you are, bring mommy a glass of water. A fellow will bring. After 5 years, never try that. Try. After 5 years, if you tell him, baby, you are wonderful. Yes, mommy, I know it. You are great. Yes, I am greater than papa. All right. Now go and bring a glass of water. What will you give me? Immediately the fellow will ask. Then you should not get angry. You must congratulate yourself. Ha, my son, he has become now intellect. Till now he did not know how the intellect. Now he has started working. What will I get out of it? Intellect is always utilitarian. Now you and I, students, as students, when we come to the teacher, we are established at the intellectual level. Arjuna is an honest intellectual. He will not do a thing if you ask him, unless he understands, why should I trouble like that? I am ready now to give to you without any remaining. That is totally I am going to expound upon the theory and practical methods by which this great truth can be realized. The question still stands. Why should I know the truth? What is there to know? I am not interested in it. At this moment, without that truth, I can eat, digest, sleep, have my recreation, my job, quite successful man, a young wife also I have got it, one chubby little baby also got it, my own house I am paying and completing it, my house also is there. Look, why should I want this knowledge? And for that I must put forth the effort and sweat. I must listen to your theory, and then you will tell me a practical method, and I must put forth the effort and practice it. For what? That doubt will come in the mind. Therefore the teacher says, Yajñatva, this great knowledge, when once you awake into that state of knowledge and come to know about it, no, not theoretical, but when you awake into that state of consciousness, neha bhuyonya jnatavyam avashishyate, there is nothing more for you to know. All your intellectual restlessness to know things will be totally satisfied. That there is nothing more a doubt or a question in your mind. Everything becomes clear. No more any riddle of life in you. Why this world? How did he create? Who created it? Why did he create? Where is he? What is he? All doubts of it. There is such a total sense of intellectual fulfillment. It is a lack of that completeness of happiness that makes the physical body demand more and more physical comfort, or emotionally we try to get a better share of emotional satisfaction, or intellectually we want to know more and more and more because we are not satisfied. A knowledge, when you gain that knowledge, you are in a different plane of consciousness. And when you are in that plane of consciousness, all this is understood. The riddle is solved. No more any intellectual restlessness and inquisitiveness to know something more. All are known. Is it not? When you wake up from your dream, all knowledge, everything in that dream is understood. No more any doubt of anything. You have understood that all that I saw in the dream, the things and beings and their happenings, were all only in one corner of my waking mind. There is no question about how or why or when or what or the dream. Nobody wakes up from the dream and sit down and worry. Why didn't I get that $1 million check? If I am worried, I have not woken up from the dream yet. But once I wake up, I have lost nothing, gained nothing. It was only a disturbance in my mind. Everything is known. Thus, when you awake from the egocentric level of consciousness into the higher state of consciousness, it's called the spiritual awakening, the enlightenment, the liberation. There is nothing more for you to know. In the sense, all things are explained and are known to you then. Jnatavyam avashishyate. Really? Is it so good as that? Because he's an intellectual and he knows the intellectual restlessness. How is that? Why is that? When is that? Where is that? Why is it? How is it? 1,000 questions arise from on till eve. Apart from the daily problems, there are these fundamental questions that come to every great thinker. Some of them he finds temporarily an answer, but I am sure that after some time, again, that answer is no more satisfactory. You find in it a flaw. Then the old doubt remains. New doubts every day springing up. Thus, at all times, an intellectual man has got very many fundamental doubts in his mind tickling him. All those doubts are being cleared only when awakening from the limited to the unlimited. A new dimension of experience altogether. That state, how to reach there, the theory, as well as the methods and practical suggestions, I shall now expound. Please listen to me. Listen means attentively listen. Attentively listen means motionless. Furniture also is very attentive then. The chair is not moving. It is not that. But alert mind. Try to absorb everything and digest it. Your own ideas, play upon it. Don't be don't be ashamed of it. How is that? Question it. Krishna is no authority. God is no authority. My intellect is my authority. Maybe my thoughts are wrong, but they are mine. And what you are talking is yours or Krishna's. Krishna's thoughts are not mine, they are foreign to me. And every human intellect is allergic to foreign ideas. I love my own ideas. So then bring that idea into it and fight with it or function with it until you absorb. All these are to be take place while I am speaking. So Arjuna, be on the toes, intellectually and emotionally, on your toes. And such alert attentiveness is called, hearing in such attentiveness is called Shravana or listening.
पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते